go over the Mystics outlook, joined by Carter Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, and Wilson Tarpe Jr. That's the last regular season edition of Mystics Outlook that we'll have. We told you guys I had kind of a home and home with the Fever wrap up the regular season. It concluded today as the Mystics beat the Fever 95 to 83. The 12-point differential wasn't indicative of how close or not close the game was. Washington handled their business, as Ray and I talked about last time, and that's one of the most important things. They had some stretches of really good defense today, but we've known who they're going to play for a couple weeks now, or it feels like a couple weeks. So they'll be matching up with the Storm on Thursday in Seattle. But as far as today goes, we'll start with you, Ray. Your thoughts on tonight's win. Then we'll get to Cardell.
Yeah, man, they handle business at home, close out the season on a high note. That's really all I was looking for, man. They played with intensity. They started out the game a little slow, but Coach T called an early timeout and kind of gathered them, and they came back out guns blazing. Their defensive intensity, they caused a lot of live ball turnovers, which led to easy scores. And on the offensive end, they were executing at a high level. They were aggressive, getting to the paint. They got to the free throw line, converted those attempts. It's just, you just want to see them close out the season, on playing well like this, especially after that the recent struggles they had. And you see Elena kind of get back to herself. She had 2 strong games to close things out, which of course is going to do wonders for her confidence and just her mental state going into the playoffs. They got a tough first round matchup against a team that plays them extremely well. It's going to be a battle. So it was imperative that they go into that series with some positive energy. You don't ever want to limp into a situation where you're basically playing for your life at that point. So yeah, man, they handled business, did what they were supposed to do. On Friday we talked about how the Fever, they're just a tough team that doesn't go away. But if the Mystics are the caliber of team that we believe they are, then you should take care of business in this manner. Like you said, man, the 12-point differential in the final score really doesn't tell the entire story. The Mystics completely dominated this game.
Go, Cardell.
Yeah, for me, look, we all know the Fever they're in the Leah Boston, sweepstakes, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I just want to see the messages come out and just destroy them. Stop playing, don't play no more. Set the tone going into the playoffs that we locked in from, the franchise player, Leda Deladon, to, the 12 women on the bench. That's what I was looking for. And put your foot on their neck and don't let up, man. They did that. For the most part, I know we got sloppy at the end, but they already had the game won. They were just trying to get out there with any injuries. Speaking of injuries, prayers is not too serious with Cloud. Hopefully just precautionary, man. Look, we going to get them up out of here. You just get some, just early night, saying get ready for Seattle, so to speak. But they did what they should do. Destroy this team. Get ready. Saw earlier that the Storm lost to the Aces, which is interesting because they were tied with the Sky. I mean, not tied with the Sky. Which it's interesting because going in to the playoff matchup Thursday with the Mystics, we all know how it went last time when the Storm were coming off a couple of L's and they met the Mystics. It got ugly, you know what I mean? So they're gonna be fired up, especially being at home. So that's what it was, man. I love what the reserves brought, especially defensively. Walker Kimbrough and Machida. 9 steals between them, and good Lord, you know what I mean? That's defensive intensity, and that's the intensity they ain't gonna have to bring from now on out. Like, however long they last in the playoffs, you gotta give it everything you got, man. And that's the thing with this team that kind of frustrated me this season is just you don't have as much time as you think, and that's how I usually go in pro sports. You don't know when your window closes. You don't know. You just don't know. So you got to take advantage of this moment right now. This team is well equipped to make a run to the championship. It's not like they're not capable or have enough talent. Obviously, the coaching is there. They have everything they need. They're going to grind it out more than what we saw in 2019. But that was just an unrealistic standard You know what I mean? So because most teams aren't that dominant, that's like a once in a once in a 5-10 year just dominant team that just destroyed everybody. This year is up for grabs because it's about 4 or 5 teams that you can see winning the championship, and the Mystics aren't that much. So the thing with them is, what Mystics team are we gonna get? We're gonna get the one that comes in and they're not as focused, or we gonna come in that the ones that is focused, that beat the storm, that locked in, that defended, that finds a way to get the W. And we're gonna see on Thursday, but they did what they should do. And just hopefully this momentum will carry on as they, make the trip to Seattle.
For sure. And I think one of the things you brought up, Cardell, that was important was they sustained the defensive intensity when the bench came in. You mentioned Rui and Shatori. They did it. They were bothering the hell out of them guards. Like, you could see in Tiffany Mitchell's face, she was just sick of them. And she wasn't the only one. Just like literally get off me. I thought Rui did good in extended minutes she got, like you mentioned with Cloud. Obviously, I think we all hope that it's not that serious, but it's about the two versions we've seen this year, like you said. The one that shows up is fully committed to grinding it out on the defensive end. They're a really good defensive team when they commit to it for 4 quarters. It's the postseason. They don't have a choice. I mean, you have a choice not to do it, but we all know where that leads you. Player of the game for you guys, Cardell, we'll start with you.
Yeah, you gotta go with Deladon. 22, 8 or 13, and they gonna need Deladon to be this moving forward. Like they can't afford a 1 for 7 Deladon. They can't afford that. And I know she got a hell of a matchup, with Stewie. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it a buck. But that's what the great ones. This what separates the great ones from the greatest, from the greats, from the average. You know what I mean? These type of matchups. I'm looking forward to that one. But yeah, of course, her. Like Ray said, they got off to a slow start, but once Deladon started getting a rhythm, then they just fed off her, and it got ugly.
Right.
Yeah, same. Elena. It just looked like she's trying to reestablish who she is. After recent offensive struggles, she's just looking to get back into the form for the playoffs.
All right, this one might actually be a tough question. X factor for the night.
I'm gonna go with Shatori. Just the way she played on both ends. 8 points, 3 of 8, 3 assists, but those 5 steals. That's tough. That's real tough. You strapping. You. That's what I mean by being locked in. Because that alone could get you 8 points. Just playing the passing lanes, and that could be the difference in the game. So that right there shows you that. That right there shows you that that she's capable, right? Like, and they're gonna need her. Jewel, Sue. That's what I mean. It's gonna be fun to watch, but they're gonna need her. But she gets my vote, man. I love what she brought, especially on the defensive end.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with Cardell, man. Just what she brought, the energy, that offensive punch off the bench, the defense, her being able to sustain that, with Cloud going down, and then giving Atkins a spell, that's huge, man. And it's just what she's been doing the entire season, man. And I'll give her the nod, but I gotta show Rui some love for stepping in for the for the entire second half with Natasha Cloud going down, man. Like, that's a good it's good to have that level of depth where, like, Cloud she's in that upper echelon of point guard for the league, and for Rui to come in and be no drop off on either end. She was a pest defensively. She ran the show offensively, and just kept things going with the momentum they had in the first half. So yeah, man, and that's been a area of inconsistency for the Mystics the entire season, that bench production. One game they're up, and the next game they kind of absent. So it's good to see them kind of get things rolling in that area to end the season.
All right, so y'all made it where it wasn't a tough question. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all Thursday. Like Cardell said, this should be an exciting matchup between these two teams. And look, if Washington take care of the business, they'll have a home game in this series. If they don't, you know, or there's also the possibility of maybe they come back home and it's to get ready for the next round. We don't know, but it's going to be a hard-fought battle. Looking forward to it. I'm just laying out all the different ways this could go. However, we won't see a home game unless, it's tied 1-1, and that would be the following week. But playoffs start Thursday night for Washington. We'll see you guys after the game. Y'all have a good one.